This is the brand new DJI RS4 Mini gimbal, and it's got some sweet new tricks. I've been shooting the RS3 Mini this entire last year. It's like the main gimbal that I use. This one, it's a big upgrade. And it has a feature that even if you're not a gimbal person per se, you still actually might want this gimbal. Like this is definitely gonna be the gimbal that's going to change people's minds about gimbals. Let's go back to the office. Let's compare this to the RS3 Mini. We'll go over kind of all the specs. In general though, like you guys kind of know everything about gimbals. So let's just talk about like what makes this one, what makes it so special and why, again, even if you're not a gimbal person, you might want this. Mainly it's this little bit. We'll talk about what that little bit is right there. All right, the RS4 Mini versus the RS3 Mini. You can see this is a major upgrade cycle. This is not like an S cycle. From the RS3 to the RS4 is a major upgrade. Totally different design, different motors. Like these are much larger, stronger motors. This entire gimbal system only weighs 890 grams, but has a 4.4 pound payload or 2 kilograms. I never have 4.4 pounds on here. Even running something like the A7S III with 24-70, we are nowhere near 4.4 pounds. Let's measure how much, where's my scale? Let's weigh this is the A7 IV. Technically that's the A7S III. Normally I run the A7S III on here though. Let's, I don't wanna ruin the surprise, but watch this. When I power it off, automatic locking axis locks on there. If I get my camera off of here with just this latch there, comes in at 1,632 grams. So we are like on the high side for what this gimbal is made for. It's ideal for like smaller cameras, smaller lenses. Ooh, we are at 3 pounds, 3 pounds, 9.6 ounces. So again, on the higher side, with the 24-70, the main thing though that limits this gimbal is the length of the arms, which we'll get to in just a little bit. But handling the A7S III with 24-70, no problem. Well within its limits, I turn it back on and automatically it unlocks and it goes right back into the balance that I just had it in. That alone, like, makes this just look like an old tripod when now it can do that. But that is nowhere near the coolest feature that is on this new gimbal. We've got the nice briefcase handle that I added on the side here. That is a separate piece, so you can start with just this here. I am not a huge fan of like having to do this a lot. I usually shoot like kind of more from the waist, and having to hold it like this all day, it gets tiring. So bringing in one of these briefcase handles is super nice, clicks right on there. And then once I'm in that kind of forward flashlight mode, they call it, I'm kind of more just holding the camera on a gimbal rather than like, I don't know, straining your forearms. Really similar controls, like nice joystick on there, record button if you are Bluetooth to a compatible camera. The Sonys are compatible with this guy. One really nice upgrade on here is, on here we had nothing on the sides here, like no switches on the sides of the RS3 Mini. On the side of this thing, I now have a mode switch right on the side. So I can go from pan tilt follow to pan follow to FPV mode just with flicking my finger really quickly. On here, I had to tap in, switch modes in the actual menus, and now I just have a physical button to do that with. I really like that. That's a huge plus. On this side, I have a switch that flick up, and now I'm using like zooms, like if I'm using a follow focus on there, I can have my focus right on there. And if I switch down, now I'm using it as a, to be able to tilt and turn the gimbal manually with this joystick. As a gimbal, like if you know DJI gimbals, you will know this gimbal very quickly. Most everything is the same as their bigger gimbals. They do give you a phone mount on this one. But again, other than that, like this is just kind of one of DJI's normal gimbals, besides the big feature that will take people that are not gimbal people and turn them into gimbal people. First though, let's talk about this phone mount and shooting vertical with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down once again. auto locking is amazing. And the way that it shoots vertical, or the way that it switches to vertical, it is kind of clever. I do wish that there was just a gimbal out there where like on the gimbal, I could just press vertical. The camera would go vertical, it would balance it, no problem. Unfortunately, because you really have to balance gimbals, that's really not a thing. On this one, I unscrew this little bit, and it is kind of a clever way that it does it. I push in the thing that unscrews, and this whole plate comes out. Can you see like this is mounted to this whole like arm piece comes off, and then it has another hole right here. So it has a hole in the end of the arm, and then underneath it has another hole. And to go vertical, I just go underneath it, and I lock into that same hole, but underneath, and then now you gotta rebalance the whole gimbal. So you do have to start over. I'm gonna sit there and manually do a quick balance on it. So I'd bring it up here, unlock this one, and kind of get it into that mode. And then I would walk through the entire balancing process. Okay, let's talk about balancing the gimbal, because balancing this thing is easier than ever. They've coated the arms in Teflon, so they slide a lot easier. So sliding either this axis or this axis is really nice and easy. But on this bit, on this axis, they put a gear in the plate. Now, I know they have that on their higher end gimbals. They now brought it to the Mini series. So in order to balance, like right now, it's nose heavy, so nose down. I would just unlock, and instead of sliding that plate, I'm just twisting this little gear here until it balances out just like that. I can be really fine-tuned with it, lock that off, then I go into the vertical axis, get this thing much, much closer. Boom, almost there. And that's it right there for those two. I lock that out, boom. Unlock this axis, let it go. It's tilting the tiniest bit. You really don't have to be crazy about these, like getting them perfect balance, because the motors are gonna be doing a lot of work here. Get that locked, unlock this guy, turn sideways, tip over, and that one's almost perfect. So balancing this thing is really, really simple. Get it unlocked right there, and boom, and we're back on balance. Balancing gimbals used to be such a massive pain in the butt. And again, with all these auto lockers coating these in Teflon so that they slide smoother, and now this little geared knob on here just make it like just way easier. Let's talk about why this gimbal system is so dang cool, and why even if you're someone that doesn't like gimbals or doesn't use gimbals, you might want this gimbal because of that little guy. AI tracker built into the RS4 Mini. Now, this is the real game changer about this gimbal, why it's so different from the RS3 Mini. It's this AI tracking. This is like a total game changer for gimbals. So right now, you know, I set my camera up on a tripod like one would, but because this is on the gimbal, I can activate that AI tracking with just a palm sign. And now, with my A7S III, I can now track myself around like a professional camera, professional setup, and now I'm tracking myself as if I had the cool little phone gimbals that have tracking. When the phone gimbals introduced tracking, I was like, what the heck? Why doesn't my big gimbal do this? And now my big gimbal does do this. Again, like this is for smaller cameras, smaller setups, but this is the A7S III with 16 to 35 G master. It can handle the A7S III with 24 to 70 G master. So, yeah, I mean, pretty much a very professional, or like, you know, like a creator camera, not like a big cinema rig, but a creator camera that can now, oh, did I stop tracking? Don't talk with your hands too much, otherwise you'll stop tracking like I just did. You can reframe just like the other one. That gives me a little yellow light. I can reframe myself so I'm nice and perfectly in the middle again. Start it tracking again, and boom. One cool thing about the RS4 Mini that even the Osmo Mobile 7P can't do is 360. This is a 360 gimbal, so I can walk all the way 360 around this thing. It's gonna continuously track me no matter where I go. Even in a 360 turn, this thing is going to track me. This is, dude, this is like, this is the dream. Like the phone gimbal tracking you, very cool. Obviously, when we film so much on our phones these days, but me being able to use my A7S III and track me, like this is the dream. This is what's so exciting. Again, though, if you do talk with your hands a lot, you can see I just stopped tracking just because I was talking with my hands. They should have a warning on here for Italians. If you're an Italian, careful. There it goes. So just like the Osmo Mobile 7P that can do tracking, now my big camera can also do tracking. And again, if you are a solo creator like myself and you want your own personal cameraman, this is the way to go. Let's see if they can both see me at once. Hang on. Ready? Do they both see me? Oh, they both got me. Look at this. My iPhone tracking me on the Osmo Mobile 7P and my A7 IV tracking me on the RS4 Mini. 2 cameras tracking me wherever I go. That is why, like, even if you're someone that doesn't care about gimbals, like you don't walk around filming things with gimbals, even though I film like almost all of like my product close-up shots with gimbals. All the shots that I filmed this today, I shot on this gimbal because I can get those like very tight movements and then just sit there and kind of slowly move it around. That's how I mainly use gimbals, but now I'm probably gonna be using them as cameramen. Like whether I'm on my phone on the Osmo Mobile 7P or on the RS4 Mini, I have my own personal cameraman, and that's pretty damn cool. Like always though, I wanna know your thoughts. Is this kind of the perfect gimbal for you? This has been my perfect gimbal this last year. Like the RS3 Mini was great for me, but this just being such an upgrade, stronger, bigger motors. We've got those auto locking axes, which I love, and the AI tracking unit. The AI tracking unit, man, that is clever as crap. Super useful if you're tracking someone else, but for me, very useful for kind of being my own little portable cameraman. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you soon. How fast can I go around it? If I go this fast, if I go, I'm almost at its limit. I can see I'm almost out of it. You can't catch me. Oh, come on. Oh, it's going faster than I thought. It's much faster than I thought. How is it this fast? Oh, I got it. Oh, ah, daggone, that was close. Oh, you're faster than I thought.